Let's go. Well, hello, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am here with a good friend of mine. I'm Dr. Sims, host of Blue Table Talk for Men, and I'm here with a dear friend of mine, Keith B. Dixon. We flown him in all the way from California. He was busy. I put him on a red eye last night. He's all mic'd up, ready to go. Keith B. Dixon, how are you, man?
Dr. Walter Sims, I'm doing well. I mean, I'm breathing, I'm upright, I'm vertical, I'm living the dream. I'm doing better than that.
Hello. I mean, it's just good to be here, is it not?
Absolutely, 100%.
100%, man. Well, listen, for the few people that may not know who you are, who is Keith B. Dixon?
Well, the irony of this all, I was a pro photographer for about 32 years.
Wow, I did not know it was that long.
Yes.
32 years.
32 years. So, turned social media influencer, and I think on Twitter at one point I might have had 50,000 followers.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I had a good career. Now I manage a sales team for a national company, and I was recruited into that, so just a whole new shift. So
wow. How you doing with that?
It's I was just recently promoted. I started out it's a sales position. So I started out as a salesperson. Obviously, I'm an excel at sales.
That is so good, man. That is so good, man. Well, kind of help us tonight because a lot of people kind of scoff at us when we talk about black love and how we love our women. You know, on TikTok, on social media, man, it look like black men and black women are just at each other, man. And you and I were just talking one evening, and the subject of love came up, and I heard you smiling through the telephone. I heard you smile, like that smile you got now. You were smiling through the telephone. Kind of give us a landscape of your relationship history and kind of set the stage for where you are now in relationship. Kind of give us an overview of what love was like for Keith B. Dixon.
I was married for 22 years, and just because you're married for a long time doesn't equate to happiness. I mean, that's
right.
Reality. Happiness can mean a lot of different things. That relationship came to a head, and I met a new woman, and it's been about a 9-month. How can I say this? A 9-month education.
Hey, hello.
And re-education. I learned a lot about myself. And the one thing I just want to lead with this.
Okay.
English is not her first language. She speaks very little English.
Okay.
She speaks enough. I mean, she can definitely get by. But when we always talk about communication, well, here's a situation where there's a language barrier, there's a cultural barrier, there's all kinds of barriers. But here we are going strong, probably one of the best relationships in my life. And maybe we can elaborate on that, Dr. Sims, in any kind of direction you want to go.
That's phenomenal. So what's her native language?
Native language is Spanish.
Okay.
The culture, she's Salvadorian. She's from El Salvador.
Right. Yeah, and the reason that's so huge, and since you talk about education, you have begun learning Spanish.
Yes, and it's been a challenge. You know, obviously the older we get, it's not hard. It's just there's so many other things that you have to do in life. You know?
Right.
And trying to learn something just kind of adds to the case.
So what did you say to Keith to avoid some of the pitfalls that you have run into in the past with relationships? What's one of the things you have learned about yourself with this new relationship?
You know, one of the things that jumps out at me right away is people generally say, I got to take some time out for myself. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to discover who I am. And I think that's a good start. But
right.
It's not something you want to live in too long, because typically what happens is you come out of a relationship and there's nobody there pointing anything out to you. And if you're honest with yourself, maybe you're going to learn a little bit more about yourself in that solitude. But
Right.
the thing that I would say is we typically bury the bad things about ourselves. They get buried, and then when you get into a new relationship, they resurface.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow, that's good, Keith. That's good. So what are you learning about you with this new relationship? First of all, tell us how you met her. Tell her how you met Mrs. What's her first name?
Veronica.
Okay, how did you meet Veronica?
So I was just out one night and on a failed meeting, and it was. I wasn't interested in really meeting anybody. That was my whole plan going forward was
Okay.
solitude. And this woman had invited me out, and it just didn't go well.
Okay.
And so I called a friend of mine, and I was like, I want to go, let's go hang out. And he lived close by, so we ended up hooking up. And he took me to this lounge, and it
Okay.
was, I want to say it was more fate than anything. So
How about
we're at
that?
the lounge, and I'm just kind of sitting there having a few beers, and my friend that I was with, one of my coworkers, he actually saw Veronica and her two daughters.
Okay.
Yeah. So she was there with her two daughters, and he was like, you know what? I saw the mom. She was kind of staring at you a little bit, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
What'd you say, man? Come on now.
Yeah, come on. He was like, yeah, you know what? You should ask her to dance. I was like, nah, I'm good. So I got up and went to the restroom, and I came back. They were sitting at our table.
Really?
Yeah. And I really wasn't saying too much of nothing. I was just sitting there. I said hi, and it was nice. And her daughter leaves and says, I think my mom likes you, but she's not gonna make a move or something.
Wow.
Like that. I'm paraphrasing. She's a nice person. She's a hard worker. You should ask her to dance. And
wow.
That was how the story. It just kind of goes from there.
And I tell people all the time, that's how love works. When you least expect it. So what are some of the hurdles that you guys have hurdled? Because like you said, there's the language barrier. And she has two daughters. You have a son, and you're a grandfather now, right?
Twice over now. So I have a new grandson.
Yeah.
Twice.
That's awesome.
And Zuri.
That's good, man. You love Zuri.
Poor kid.
That's all. So what have been some of the hurdles you guys have had to hurdle?
There's always hurdles in a relationship. You just got to figure out where you're going to dig in and how long you're going to dig in.
Right.
That's the variable. But I think the biggest one is the culture.
Okay.
You have to understand. Salvadorian culture is not the same as Mexican culture or Hawaii or Bolivian. Their cultures are completely different. Their foods are different. Even some of the Spanish words are different.
Oh, wow.
So you've got to understand how they do things. And here in the United States, people always say melting pot. I just got to tell you, that's not the correct terminology to use. In America, we're like one big quilt. We're all kind of sewn together in patches and groups.
Right.
And so our culture, there may not be a lot of emphasis on our culture. It might be more community culture. But when you have ethnic culture, it's a whole different thing that you have to really dive into and try to understand.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. And you guys, so you guys are in a good place right now. You love her, she loves you, man. Why you just got this big smile on your face, man. So what is it about her that has caused you to really pause and say, you know what? I didn't expect to be here. I'm gonna give this love thing a chance, man. What is it about her that's got you all happy and stuff?
The number one thing in a relationship, people always talk about communication and understanding. We got to have the same goals.
Right.
All the buzzwords. But at the end of the day, the only thing that you really need to do is hear that person, and they've got to hear you. That's the magic bullet, the secret formula, the silver lining, whatever it is. You just got to hear each other. And once you do that, that's going to break ground for you.
That is phenomenal, man. I'm just so proud of you, Keith. It warms my heart, man, that you and this young lady are just you're clicking on all cylinders. So what's that next level of growth for you guys? Where y'all are here, but y'all got another level of growth. What's that next level of growth for you guys?
You know, Dr. Sims, that's a question. Let me tell you this. For the first time in my life, I'm not thinking about a relationship.
How about that?
I'm feeling the relationship day by day, just feeling it. And wherever the wind blows, that's where it's going to blow. I mean, there's no, and I think that's the biggest mistake we make in a relationship. We
That's
want to be
good.
quick to plan things out. We're going to
That's
do
good.
this. We're going to live life like this. No, because here today, gone tomorrow. You just don't know.
Amen.
We live it one day at a time.
Just no pressure.
No pressure.
Well, I got wherever you go and wherever you need me to be. I got my passport, right?
100%. And I would definitely lock it down. I mean, a woman like this, they just don't come around, very often. Just very loyal, very understanding.
That's good.
A lot of patience. I'm going to say it like this. I serve her, she serves me.
Oh, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. That sounds good. And the serving is easy when love is involved, because you and I were talking, you said, Dr. Sims, this is the first time that I can see love. I know what love is now. I see that now. And so what kind of epiphany did you have to kind of come to that revelation? What about this relationship that got you so locked in?
You really want to deep dive on this?
That's why we're here. That's why we're at the blue table, dog. That's why we're here, dog.
So, I've been on this earth for a little over 50 years. And and there's just some things, I'm going to tell you, it just took me 50 plus years to figure out.
Hello, me too, dog.
One of them is love.
Yeah.
Here. The thing, I'm going to lead with this, and then I'm going to end on a positive. Love is very painful.
Yeah.
When you really love somebody, you're going to see yourself in that person. You may dislike everything that you see because those are all the things you dislike about yourself.
Right.
And what ends up happening is you hold that person to the fire for all their faults, right? And if you don't correct it, obviously that relationship doesn't work.
Right.
But when you start realizing, you know what, I'm seeing myself, and the analogy I want to use is a mirror. I mean, God put mirrors on this planet, a whole bunch of them. Right? Because he wants or she wants, or the God, the universe wants us to know that no matter what we do, we're always going to be looking at ourselves.
That's right.
So I'm looking at myself right now on camera. So the first thing I realized is I see a lot of myself in her. Her drive, determination, her willingness to want to succeed. And that's what got me thinking, like maybe there's something really here. I got to stop and look at myself.
That is good, man. So how do you get along with her daughters?
It's like a love affair all the way across the board with the whole entire family.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, it's a great relationship. It's taken some time to work on it. It's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive thing.
Right.
And I think if you're going into a blended family situation, you just have to know where your boundaries are.
That's a good point.
Where your woman's boundaries are, and when they get into their turbulent situation, you make sure you fly around it.
Okay.
You got to do.
So unpack that a little bit. When you say when you're dealing with blended families is sensitive, explain that a little bit further for everybody.
So those blended families, there's a statistic. Blended families have a very low success rate.
Okay.
Statistically, there's a book out there. I can't recall the author's name off the top of my head.
Right.
If you Google blended, the statistical failures on blended relationships. It's out there. So the thing that I would say is
that's good.
That makes it challenging is, one, can you get on the same page with a family who's been together for 20 years, 30 years, whatever?
Good point.
You're going to step into that, and with your own ideals about family and what it should be, and how do you bring all those values together?
Oh, that's good.
How do you do that?
That's good, man. And so you're navigating it pretty well, my brother. So have you been over to El Salvador yet?
December.
Oh, you going this December?
I'm sorry, January. Yeah.
Okay. You looking forward to it?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be an experience, and I don't know if your viewers know this, but there's a lot of people of color in El Salvador.
Oh, really? Look. Wow, man, that's so phenomenal, man. That's so phenomenal. So you're glad that night you and your friend went to the lounge. You're glad that night you ran into Veronica.
In the beginning, I had the walls up.
Yeah.
Didn't know quite where it was going to go or how it was going to go.
Right.
I was stuck in my singular mode, and I was comfortable with that. It's very comfortable to be alone. Yeah. But the thing that I want people to know going forward right now is, when you're comfortable, you never grow.
You never grow. You never grow.
Be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and like you said, love is painful, Doc. So you say you had these walls built up, and I want you to unpack that a little bit. That's going to help some of the men tonight. You had these walls up. When did Keith B. Dixon's walls come down? Explain the wall. Give it a title, if you will. But your wall came down one day. Talk to us.
I think you have to understand. I led with reflection, right? You got to look in the mirror. So when you're going through your checklist of whatever it is you think you want, that's when the problems start.
How about that?
You got to understand what you need as a man. What do I absolutely need from a woman?
Right.
And you got to stand strong on those. Those are very strong points. So,
right.
For me, it was about, what do I need?
Right.
I don't need a woman that has a PhD. Right? I need a woman who's going to put me first in her life. And if she has children, obviously she's going to put her children first. So then I need a woman that knows how to create balance.
That's good.
So I'm going to look for that. Like, how does she create the balance? How does she satisfy both sides of the fence? Because that is difficult to do.
It is. It is, and so she's doing it quite well, my friend. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you. So what's next for you, Keith B. Dixon? You just got promoted. You're in a healthy, loving relationship. You got great children. You got great grandchildren. So what's next on your to-do list?
I'm not getting any younger.
Okay.
Right? So the ideal for me is to live part-time, and this has always been an ideal even before Salvador. But
okay.
The ideal for me is to live in another country part-time. I mean, I'm always going to be tied to the States, to the United States. But
wow.
Just living in El Salvador part-time, I think that's going to be the place. It's going to be comfortable. It's be financially comfortable. And
that is good, really, man.
Yeah, it's really laying back and enjoying, all the time that I have.
Yeah, I think Veronica just chimed in.
Oh, did she?
Hey, Miss Veronica, we talking about you tonight. Hey, man, that is awesome. And good evening, Veronica. His better half has chimed in. And good evening again, everybody. We're just talking about my dear friend Keith and his new relationship, the new lady in his life. And Veronica, he just said that he wants to spend half of his time in El Salvador, man. So help us understand, talk to us about El Salvador a little bit. What are you looking forward to seeing?
It's in the United States, it's work, work. Everything is very structured. And when you talk about love, being with someone, if you're listening, right? If you're listening to that person and you're understanding what their values are, and
that's
how
right.
they're lining up with yours, things are going to be a lot easier. And I think in being with Veronica, she was like, God, there's so much emphasis on work here, and not a lot of emphasis on family and getting together. And you know what? It got me thinking.
Okay.
Like how do I want my life to be? Do I always want to be focused on making money and all these other things, all these superficial things, material things?
Right.
How do I focus on happiness? How do I focus on family? And I think that's the one value.
Oh, that is so good, man. Well, tell everybody how they can follow you and follow what you're doing, man, and keep up with you. How can we contact Keith B. Dixon?
Yeah, just mostly on Instagram now. I don't have a lot of time to really do social media, but I do have an Instagram account. That's probably the best way. So definitely Instagram. And if you leave a comment, be patient. It might take me a little bit to get to it. I'm not the social media guru that I used to be.
That's right.
But yeah,
that's good, man. Well, how's your weight journey? Because I told everybody, I went on and did a quick TikTok this morning, and I told them you've lost about 60 to 70 pounds, right? 70 pounds.
I'm right there. I'm about maybe 10 pounds from my goal weight.
Okay.
And it's. I think once you get to a certain point, you start feeling a certain way, you start looking a certain way in your clothes. It just locks in. So like, okay, I can't do that. I can't do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It's just really like a teeter-totter effect. So
that is so good, man.
Learn how to manage. Yes, sir.
Okay, last thing. Is Golden State going to win the championship this year, or the Phoenix Sun going to win?
That's a tough question. I always got to go with the California teams. So the Warriors, they lost the other night. But,
they sure did.
I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm not going to get on that bandwagon just yet.
Just yet. Well, I'm still thinking Giannis and the Bucks are still the team to beat. And Boston looked pretty good the other night.
Yeah, I saw that game. I was watching a little bit of it. It's going to be an interesting series. Kind of hard to call.
Yeah.
The teams that all look like they're evenly matched.
That's very true. That's very true, man. Well, I'm happy for you, man, and I'm very thankful that you're in a healthy relationship. And Ms. Veronica, good to see you tonight. And if you're there on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you know when we go live. And man, you're the third episode on Blue Table, man. Blue Table Talk. But man, you my third episode, man.
Brother, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you always hearing me out. And I gotta throw this nugget in there.
Oh, come on.
You told me. I don't want to digress too much because I know we got to close out.
Come on.
I remember you telling me, you got to give somebody 100% credit right out of the gate, right? Because when you get a credit card, they give you a limit. It's $1,000, right? Not $750, not $850. They give you $1,000, and they're believing that you're going to pay them on time. That applies to a relationship. Until proven otherwise, you've got to give people 100% credit and what they say and what they do. And here's the last one.
Come on.
You got to operate from. You got to be on offense and not defense. If you're on defense, if you're in a relationship and you're on the defense, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna lose.
Amen.
It's not about losing. It's a win-win situation. She's got to win. You got to win. So
that's good.
Always be on the offensive.
That's so good, Keith. Thank you, my dear brother. I love you, and I'm still using Nikon and my new telephone for my camera, okay?
There you go, brother. You can't go wrong with a Nikon camera.
Well, Miss Veronica, Keith, good to see you, man, and we'll be in touch real soon, man. Like I said, I got my passport ready.
Thank you, brother.
All right, Doc. We're going to run to a quick break, and Keith, that's Keith B. Dixon, y'all. Thank you, Keith, for being here with us, and we're going to run to a quick break, and we'll be right back. Schedule your initial complimentary consultation today with Dr. Sims. You can contact Dr. Sims at 205-225-9757. His contact information is listed on Linktree at www.linktr.ee/Dr. Walter Sims. Again, go ahead and call him to set up your complimentary consultation today at 205-225-9757. Yeah, that was my good friend. Let me turn my volume down a little bit. That was my good friend Keith B. Dixon talking about the new relationship that he's in and all the good things that's going on with him. Our guest next week, Rory, his last name is Holmes, but on TikTok he's Rory the Storm. And next week we're talking about, let's end the hate. We're going to talk about everything from relationships, race relations. Let's just end the hatred, between men and women. We got a lot to talk about next. We're going to talk about co-parenting and how tricky that is. What's up, J-Dub? What's up, J-Dub? Good to see you, man. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff last week, and I hope you heard the latter part of that interview I just had with Keith. And one of the things that he and I were talking about when it came to trust, I said, when you're dealing with someone, you need to start with 100% trust in that individual. And man, that was eye-opening in that conversation. He was like, wow, Dr. Sam. I said, if somebody hasn't done anything to betray your trust, they're at 100%. But if they do something to betray that trust, you just take off the 100%. And also, we talked about loving offensively and not defensively. And that blows my mind when you go across TikTok or you go through social media in general. Everybody's talking about, what if the person cheats on you? What if the person cheats on you? That's operating on the defense. Love is about operating offensively. How can I love you better? How can we stay together? How can we get to know each other a little bit better? You know what I'm saying? And so my advice, our advice to everybody is that if you're in a relationship, love offensively. And in the words of Al Green, let's stay together, loving you forever is all I want to do. And so let's love offensively. Love is wonderful. And like in Keith's case, him and Veronica just met one evening at a lounge, and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? So keep your eyes open. I hope you're taking notes. Keep your eyes open. Keep your mind open. Keep your heart open. Keep your hands open. Be open for the possibility. And don't, you hear a lot of people talking about, I don't know if I'm supposed to be single forever. I don't know if I don't know if there's anybody out there for me. Well, you work on you. You keep working on you. Keep working on you each and every day. You become a better you. And everything else will take care of itself. You become a better you. Oh, Dr. Sims, really? You become a better you. Tune in next week. We'll be here every Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My guest next week, the first show in May, the 4th episode, guest Rory the Storm. He's on TikTok, Rory the Storm on TikTok. And he's going to be our guest next week. And he has he's got a campaign going. Let's end the hate. He's got a merch line and everything. So I'm really excited to have him on the show next week. I got guests lined up all the way to the end of June. I am so excited. So if you're sitting there on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification so you know when we go live, because I got another friend of mine that's coming to the area, and we may do a Blue Table Talk for Men live together. He's coming to the Albany area, which is about 40 minutes from me. So thank y'all for being here tonight. And this was episode number 3. Keith, thank you again. Veronica, thank you for being here. J-Dub, thank you for being here. And love you much. And Dr. Sam, where did the inspiration come from for Blue Table Talk for Men? You know the incident between Will Smith and Chris Rock. I did a TikTok 3 weeks ago, and I said, well, Chris, since you guys got the microphone now, start a Blue Table Talk for Men. Like Jada's got the red table, you do the blue table. One of my clients said, well, Dr. Sam, you do it. So here we are. So I got the YouTube channel going. I got the email address and everything, and I got the website. And so we're really excited about just having a safe place for men to talk about our struggles, to talk about our fears, to talk about our challenges, to talk about our appointments and disappointments, our relationships. Men have a lot on their heart. You know, men are 3 times as likely to commit suicide than a woman is. A young lady stitched a lot of men conversation together on TikTok, and a lot of men said they don't have anybody. And so I've said, let's have a safe place for men to come to where they can talk and just share some things on their heart. And Keith, I am so thankful that he came on. He said, Dr. Sims, I've been around all these years and I finally know what love is. Amen. So tune in next week, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. May the 4th, Rory the Storm is going to be here. And let's end the hate. Let's love more than we hate, okay? Let's be a committee of one. Love more than you hate. Until next week. And as I always say, if you stay high on life, life is going to stay high on you. Schedule your initial complimentary consultation today with Dr. Sims. You can contact Dr. Sims at 205-225-9757. His contact information is listed on Linktree at www.linktr.ee/Dr. Walter Sims. Again, go ahead and call him to set up your complimentary consultation today at 205-225-9757.